Do this 5-minute daily tech habit to stay sharp and scam-proof. You know, I was talking to a friend the other day, and she said something that really stuck with me. She said, "I feel like my brain has too many tabs open at once, just like an old computer. And half of them are frozen." Does that sound familiar? You walk into a room and forget why you're there. You're introduced to someone new, and their name just slips away like water. It's frustrating, isn't it? And on top of that, there's this whole new world of technology that seems designed to confuse us. The phones are smarter, the emails are sneakier, and sometimes it feels like you need a secret decoder ring just to stay safe online. Well, what if I told you that the very thing that causes so much frustration, technology, could actually be the key to sharpening your mind and protecting yourself? That you could use it for just 5 minutes a day to not only keep your memory crisp, but also to build a fortress around your life savings. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. This isn't about becoming a computer whiz overnight. This is about one simple, 5-minute daily habit. A habit that does double duty. It gives your brain a workout and teaches you to spot the digital dangers that are targeting folks like us. Because let's be honest, our generation has a target on our backs when it comes to online scams. But we also have a lifetime of wisdom and experience. We just need to apply it in a new way. So, let's break down this 5-minute habit. It's built on two powerful pillars. The first is all about active learning, giving your brain a little nudge to form new connections every single day. The second is about defensive awareness, learning to see the red flags before they become a problem. They work together, hand in hand. Let's start with that first pillar, active learning. Now, you might be thinking, I'm retired. I'm done with learning. But our brains are like muscles. If we don't use them, they get stiff. The good news is, you don't need to go back to school. You just need to be a little curious for a few minutes each day. So, for the first 2 to 3 minutes of your 5-minute habit, I want you to do one small thing that teaches you something new about a piece of technology you already use. I'm not talking about coding or anything complicated. I'm talking about the device right in front of you. Your smartphone, your tablet, or your computer. For example, let's take your phone. Can you find the emoji keyboard? I know, it sounds silly, but it's a perfect little brain game. See if you can find the smiley face. Now, can you find the one for a thumbs up? Or a heart? What you're doing is navigating a menu, searching for a symbol, and making a choice. That's a fantastic little cognitive task. It's like a mini crossword puzzle for your fingers and your mind. Another great one is using the search function on a website you love. Let's say you enjoy watching birds. Go to YouTube, right on that main page, and see that little magnifying glass? That's the search bar. Click on it and type in cardinal birdsong. See what comes up. You've just successfully told a massive global library to find you exactly what you wanted. That's a powerful feeling. And in doing so, you practiced typing, you spelled a word correctly, and you made a decision about which video to watch. That is active learning. It's engaging with the technology, not just passively consuming what's on the screen. The goal here isn't to master every feature. The goal is to create a tiny, manageable challenge. It could be learning how to make the text bigger on your screen. It could be finding the do not disturb setting so you aren't bothered during dinner. It could be sending a photo to a grandchild via text message. Just one small victory. And I promise you, these small victories add up. They build neural pathways. They build confidence. And that growing confidence is what will make you less hesitant and less vulnerable when a suspicious email or pop-up appears. Because when you're familiar with how your device should behave, you're much more likely to notice when something is off. And that leads us perfectly into the second part of our 5-minute routine, which is all about training your scam spotting instincts. But we'll get to that in just a moment. First, I want you to think about one small tech question you've had but never bothered to look up. Maybe it's how to set an alarm on your phone. Or how to find a recipe on Google. Just hold that thought. Because that little question is the seed of your brain's next workout. That little question, that moment of curiosity, is so much more powerful than you might think. It's the spark. And once you have that spark, the next step is to fan it into a flame of awareness. Because now that you're getting more comfortable actively using your device for a minute or two each day, you're ready for the part that truly protects you. This is where we move from learning to defending. This is where we train your eyes to see the traps before you step in them. So, for the remaining 2 to 3 minutes of your 5-minute daily habit, we're going to play a game I call Spot the Red Flag. This isn't about living in fear, it's about living with confidence. It's about looking at the digital world with the same wise, skeptical eye you've developed over a lifetime. You know not to buy a used car from a pushy salesman without kicking the tires. You know a too good to be true deal when you see one at the market. We're just applying that very same wisdom to your screen. Let's start with your email inbox. This is ground zero for scammers. So, during your 5-minute session, I want you to open your email and just scroll. But instead of reading the messages, I want you to look at the senders. Look at the email addresses themselves, not just the names. See that one from Amazon customer service? If you look closely, the email address might be something strange like support-amazon@secure-help73.net. That's a red flag. A real email from a major company will almost always come from a domain you recognize, like at Amazon.com. This is like checking the return address on a physical letter. If it looks suspicious, you'd be wary. Same thing here. Now, let's talk about the language they use. Scammers love to create a sense of urgency or fear. They want to short-circuit your logical brain and trigger a panic response. So, look for phrases like urgent action required, or your account will be suspended in 24 hours, or we've detected suspicious activity. A legitimate company simply doesn't communicate that way. Your bank isn't going to threaten you via email. They'll send a calm, formal letter in the mail. So, when you see those shouting, all-caps words and dramatic warnings, that's not a signal to click. That's a signal to stop, take a breath, and recognize it for what it is, a trap. And that leads us to the most important rule of all, the do not click rule. This is your superpower. In your 5-minute practice, train your finger to hover. When you see a button that says verify your account or a link that says claim your prize, your new instinct should be to not touch it. Instead, let's practice what you should do. If you get an email that seems like it might be from your bank or a company you do business with, don't use the links in the email. Close the email. Open a new window in your internet browser, that's the little compass icon, and type in the website address you know is real, like wellsfargo.com, or log in directly there. If there's a real problem, you'll see a message waiting for you in your account. If there's no message, that email was a fake. You've just neutralized the threat without breaking a sweat. But it's not just email. Let's talk about those pop-up windows that can appear when you're browsing the web. This is a common one. You're reading a news article, and suddenly a big box appears on your screen with a loud warning, "Warning. Virus detected. Call this number now for support." Your heart might skip a beat. It looks official. But this is perhaps the biggest scam of all. It's a digital boogeyman. A real virus alert from your computer would not, I repeat, would not, ever ask you to call a phone number. It just wouldn't. So what do? You don't call. You don't click OK. You look for the smallest little X, usually in the top corner of that pop-up box, and you click it to close the window. If you can't find the X, you can simply close the entire browser tab. On most browsers, that's the little tab at the top of the screen with an X on it. Just close it. You haven't harmed your computer. You've just walked away from a con artist. And you know, as you practice this, as you spend just a couple of minutes a day looking at sender addresses, recognizing urgent language, and resisting the urge to click, something amazing happens. It becomes second nature. You start to feel a sense of control. That anxiety about technology begins to melt away, replaced by a quiet confidence. You're no longer a potential victim, you're a vigilant guardian of your own peace of mind. And this defensive awareness, this sharp-eyed skepticism, actually works your brain in a profound way. You're analyzing, you're critiquing, you're making critical decisions. You are, in every sense of the word, staying sharp. Now, you might be wondering how to bring all of this together into a simple, seamless routine that doesn't feel like a chore. How do you make this 5-minute habit stick, and how can you be sure you're covering all your bases? Well, that's the final piece of the puzzle. It's about creating a rhythm that becomes as natural as your morning coffee, a rhythm that not only protects you but empowers you every single day. And that rhythm, that daily practice of empowerment, is what truly transforms this from a good idea into a life-changing habit. It's the difference between knowing the path and walking the path. So, how do we make it as natural and essential as your morning cup of coffee? It's simpler than you think. Think of your 5-minute habit as a small, daily gift to yourself. A moment of care for your mind and your security. The easiest way to make it stick is to attach it to something you already do without fail. For most of us, that's the morning routine. So, after you've poured your coffee or tea, but before you turn on the news or open the paper, that's your time. You settle into your favorite chair, with your device in hand, and you give yourself these 5 minutes. Let's walk through what a full session could look like. It's Monday morning. You've got your coffee. You open your tablet. For the first 2 minutes, you remember our first pillar, active learning. You think, what's one little thing I've wondered about? Maybe you've always wanted to know how to change the ringtone on your phone so you can hear it better. So, you go into your settings, that little gear icon, and you tap on sounds. You see a list of options, and you experiment. You tap on ringtone and a whole list of sounds comes up. You try a few. They might be silly, but you pick one that's a bit louder and more distinct. There. You've done it. You've just actively learned a new function. Your brain had to navigate, make choices, and solve a tiny problem. Victory number 1. Now, for the next 3 minutes, you switch to defense. You open your email. You scroll, not with a sense of dread, but with the keen eye of a detective. You see an email from what looks like your internet provider. You look at the sender address. It's from service@comcast-support.net. You pause. You know your real provider is just comcast.net. Red flag. You don't panic. You don't click. You simply shake your head, maybe even smile a little at having caught it, and you mark it as spam or just delete it. Then you see another one, this one from a delivery company. It says urgent, we cannot deliver your package. But you weren't expecting anything. Another red flag. You delete it. In 3 minutes, you've just reinforced your mental defenses twice. Victory number 2. And that's it. 5 minutes is over. You close your tablet, take a sip of your coffee, and you face the day with a little more confidence, a little more sharpness. You've done your mental workout for the day. The beautiful thing about this habit is its compounding effect. Day by day, you are not only getting more technologically savvy, but you are also building a library of what wrong looks like. You're starting to recognize the patterns, the fake logos, the poorly worded messages. This is what we call a scam-proof mindset. It's not about knowing every single trick, it's about developing an instinct for what feels off. And that instinct is one of the most powerful cognitive skills you can possess. I hear from so many people who say that technology makes them feel left behind, or worse, vulnerable. They feel like the world is moving too fast. But this habit flips that script. It puts you back in the driver's seat. You are not a passive consumer, you are an active participant. You are engaging your brain in novel ways, which is scientifically shown to help maintain cognitive function. And at the very same time, you are building a fortress of knowledge around your hard-earned savings and your personal information. So, remember, this isn't about being perfect. Some days, your 5 minutes might just be learning how to use the voice-to-text feature on your phone. Other days, it might be recognizing one phishing email. Every single bit of it counts. Every single day, you are choosing to be sharper, to be safer, and to be more confident in this modern world. You have a lifetime of experience. You have wisdom. Now, you have a simple, powerful tool to protect it all. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What was one red flag you spotted this week? Or what was one small tech feature you finally learned? Sharing our experiences helps us all learn and grow together. If this felt helpful, if it felt like a step in the right direction for your peace of mind, please give this video a like. And if you want more practical, respectful advice like this to help you live your best life after 60, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It's completely free, and it helps me continue to make content that serves you. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Remember, your best and safest days are still ahead of you. You've got this. Now, go enjoy that coffee. You've earned it. Your opinions are very valuable to us, so please feel free to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating quality content to inform and inspire you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.